Zoom recording. Okay, great. I'd like to start the session with just some gratitude. I find that that is such a powerful way to start any session, any day. Let's have 5, 6 people share what they're grateful for and what opportunities do you see for yourself? What are you excited about? I'll start. I'm so grateful for this technology that allows us to learn and continue to earn through this crazy pandemic year that we've had and still in right now. It is amazing what we have been able to do. I feel like my business hasn't really stopped. It actually has grown because we have all this technology. So I am very grateful for that. Who's next? A few more grateful.
I'll go. I'm grateful for my health and that the appraisal came in on my first deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What other good things has happened lately for anyone else?
Okay, I raised my hand. This is Maxine Chin.
Yes,
Can
go
you
ahead.
hear me? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm grateful for Zoom that even though we're amidst the COVID, that we can see each other. And please forgive me if I stop my video because I'm doing multitasking organization. So
I understand. I
you don't want to
understand.
see me because we could be distracting to you.
I understand, and I'm grateful for a handful of you or who can be on video. That's great.
Okay, and I'm thankful for the listing club in which they gave me a really good advice when I listed a property about a week ago, last Wednesday or the Wednesday before, and I put it on market for 1.45. The first person that saw it says, I would like to put a preemptive offer. It's going to be way, way high. And Mark told me, don't take it, just, go along with the flow. And I did. I put the thing for the 9th to take offers. And then this agent still continue with the 2 other agents wanting to put preemptive offer on. They said, if you tell us to go away, we'll disappear, but I think that you will regret it. And so I talked to the sellers. They said, yeah, we could take a look at it. We don't want to disappear. He came in at 1.830, highest ever in San Bruno. You don't get, 10% maybe max, maybe 20, but not 400,000 above the list. So I'm thankful for the listing club to be able to, be on it and, and that people are willing to share the ideas. I'm thankful for the culture of KW because people are willing to share. And I have like several people that want to go out of state to invest, as in 1031 exchange and stuff.
Yes.
And the KW culture is it's great because you can count on them. In the past several years, I sent it elsewhere to other companies, but it just goes into a black hole. And I don't really have confidence, but now I do with KW agents.
Awesome. So more of a reason to go after listings, right, everybody?
And thank you for teaching the class. We should appreciate that.
My pleasure. All right. Wow.
I just wanted to share real quick, Leanna. Hi, this is Ryan Quinley. I joined last August. Since then, the support, the systems, the people have just been wonderful. So this is my first Ignite and I'm enjoying everything I'm learning, and thanks for putting this on today.
Oh, you're very welcome, Ryan. Welcome. I wish I were in your shoes when I started 17 years ago. Seriously, I didn't know.
Okay.
I learned it the hard way, and you are so lucky.
No, thank you.
All right. Today we will focus on what will give you the most robust career, and that is cultivating leads for sellers, cultivating listing opportunities. Okay. And is there a secret to being successful? No, there is no secret, because thanks to Gary Keller and KW, we have the Bible, we have everything written down for us. Success leaves clues, so we know exactly what other agents before us have done. So we will have this session. I will share the first half, which is the first 90 minutes, and we'll take a break about halfway through for 5 minutes. So let's go over what we do to be successful. Every day we do two types of activities. We grow our business and run our business. So growing is bringing in new clients, right? If you heard no clients, no business. So the activities that grow the business are just basically focused on bringing in new clients. So we lead generate for buyers and sellers. We make listing presentations. We meet with buyers for consultation, and we build our craft, look at properties, look at neighborhoods, read market stats, market news, to really be the expert. And the goal of our time today is to look at the models that allow you to do these tasks, to grow the business. And then running the business is also, or working in the business. After you get the client, you do things to close the transaction, like market listings, show properties, write offers, negotiate the contract, manage the 30-day roller coaster process to close the escrow, manage vendors. We really are the switchboard of making sure everything happens properly, and set goals. 73% of people are more likely to achieve their goals if they have them written down. And be in compliance with the brokerage risk management policies, having all the documents in the transaction documents signed and in command. And attend training like this, where we learn from each other, where we learn from other mistakes and success. And last but not least, manage money. Wow. When I started, it was just get out there and sell a house. But now I really see, you really want a life, managing money for profit is so key, so key. And Keller Williams has a whole universe of training for managing money for profit. So, of course, when we talk about lead generation, we are talking about our database. Database. It is the base. And it is the quickest way to grow your business. So that's what we will focus a lot on today, reaching out to your sphere of influence. Oops. Sorry. We will cover how to unearth the seller's motivation, qualify and convert leads once you have them, pre-qualify the seller, so critically important. You will save yourself a ton of heartache by doing so. And we have a script for that, of course. We have a set of questions that will help you save a lot of heartache. And then a listing presentation created for us by within command that is so phenomenal. to be honest, I was playing around the last couple of days with it and I thought, wow, this is so simple. We are so lucky to have it. The obligatory do not call list. Disclaimer, if someone doesn't want you to call them, remove them off the list and honor it, because agents have gotten in trouble for calling. How do we find sellers? These are the very fundamentally important sources, your database, the daily 10-4. So I will go over these. Open houses. Of course, that has changed a lot since in the past year, but eventually life will come back to normal and open houses will continue to be another great source of buyer and seller leads. And referrals. So let's switch gears and learn about what comes after you get the lead, after this, you call up your sphere of influence, your neighbor, and say, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell that I can help in the next 30, 60, 90 days? And the neighbor says, hey, my mom. So the next step, of course, is to connect with them. Really understand and categorize them into how urgent is it? How urgent do they need your service? How urgent do they want to move? And these are the connecting questions that will help you really get to the heart of the urgency of their motivation. There's nothing more painful than working with a client with no urgency or they're just testing the waters. So these questions will help us connect with the lead, really position us as, putting their priorities first and foremost, and show us as we are as professionals, motivated, capable, and really there to assist them. Builds rapport, and we're ready to do the job. Questions like, what are the life events motivating them to think about selling? What needs or wants they're looking to fulfill with the move? Fully understand their motivation and get to the emotional dynamic. Go beyond how much they want to net, how much debt they want to pay off. Get to the emotional driving force. Because when there's a great bold law, logic makes people think, emotions make people act. So they will move. Like if you hear, oh, I want to be closer to my grandkids, that's a great motivating fact. They will move heaven and earth. I have had many of those to do whatever it takes to sell that house. And how do you think these questions will help you to get to the bottom of what's driving them? And what other questions can you come up with that are really important? Can we have someone, just maybe some questions that you use that were really good that you can share that we don't have on this list?
Yeah, so asking what the move would mean to them, I think is a good one.
Great. Yeah. One that I've learned that is a huge kind of bottom line question is, what if the house doesn't sell in 60 days, 90 days? What would your life be like? How does that impact your life, your plan? And if you see this fear develop in their eyes, you know you've got a motivated client, motivated seller, because they will sell. They realize if they don't sell, then their life turns upside down. So I find that, and after I go through all these questions, all these basic questions, what are you looking for? What do you want to do? Where would you like to buy? Where are you located? What's important about moving to Nebraska? What is the money for? Do you see any challenges in selling this home, personal or anything otherwise? So after they answered all of that, I would ask, what if for some reason it doesn't sell? That will really get them to think ahead of time, all the challenges that will come up and overcome them ahead of time. So if you have your participants guide, you can jot down some of these questions that others have shared that are not on this list. They will come in handy. Those questions get to the heart of what kind of seller are we working with? What is the urgency level? And the three categories. A is they're able, ready, and willing to do business in the next 2 weeks. That means you would follow up every day to secure an appointment, to get in front of them. And most sellers meet with one agent. And it's usually, if they meet with multiple, it's usually the first agent that they meet with, that they connect with. And that the first agent is like the bar that everyone else is measured against. So we want to be that first agent. Category B, they're able, ready, and willing to do business in 2 weeks to 15 to 60 days, which is a great category of sellers to have, because that gives us time to connect, do the presentation, and help them get their house on the market. So you would put them in the database and connect with them every 2 or 3 days, or at least once a week if they're maybe 6 weeks out. I tell all my sellers from the very beginning, seller prospects, it takes, if you want the best result, the highest money you can get, start 60 days in advance. Don't wait till the last minute. And that usually really helps them to hasten things up. And then category C, they're able, ready, and willing to do business in 60 days or more. So you would put them in the database and call them maybe every 2 weeks, email them, and just keep checking in with them, because if they're talking to you, they may be talking to others, and you don't want to call one day and know that they've already got the sign in front of their house. It's a horrible feeling. So stay on top of that. So the category C, what are some of the things we can do to stay top of mind? And Command gives us many great resources. We can put them on a smart plan. We can create landing pages for them, email them regular activities of what's happening in the neighborhood. When I have a seller lead, I put them on the MLS activities alert, like anything that happens within their neighborhood within a mile radius, anything. Sending, pending, sold, withdrawn, expired, so that we keep an eye on it and they know what's happening. All right, let's take a few minutes and role play the categorizing the seller into A, B, C, or D. If you have your participant guide, it's on page 6. We can, let's see. You can put down the questions that we have gone over of to help you categorize these sellers. So after you find their motivation, you're asking for an appointment, right? You are calling them, you're connecting with them to convert them to an appointment. You might have an appointment with them, or you might get a referral. So making that call may lead to many things. And if you ask for a referral, you can, I'm sorry, there's a glitch in my software. Give me 1 second. So as you're at, let's look at the situation of asking, you know that the seller wants to sell and you're on the phone with them or on Zoom. When you ask for an appointment, I always like to use the 2 option, like will tomorrow at 3 or Friday at 1 work better for you? It gets them thinking about their schedule and mentally putting you into the schedule. And if they are not ready to sell, of course, you would put them into the category A, B, and C, and do follow up with the referral question. Oh, who do you know in your neighborhood that is thinking of selling? Because we have lots of buyers that are looking to move into your neighborhood. Because that question has given me leads, because people like to chit chat about their neighbors, right? Okay, now that we have converted our leads to an appointment or put them in a drip system, and we know that they are willing to sell, it would be a good time to go the extra step of pre-qualifying. And this is a step that took me a long time to get to. You know, for a while, I was really happy that I just got the appointment, and I would just prepare in the background, doing my printing all the materials and the flyers, and then wait for the appointment to come and show up. And I didn't feel as prepared and as I do now after implementing the pre-qualification. So I would say this is as important as securing the appointment. So to really maximize your chance of being the top of mind, an agent that stands out, that the seller will measure all the other agents against, ask important questions ahead of time. questions that really cement that relationship with the seller. Again, motivation is very key. And the more questions you ask, the more of an expert you become. I would make the analogy of like when you go see a doctor or an attorney, right? They're asking you a lot of questions about your situation. They're not telling you exactly what to do yet until after they ask all the questions. So I feel that the questions that we have here really give you that leverage, that sense of you are their professional guidance in selling this home. And getting the questions about price is extraordinarily important. You want to know, are they realistic? Are they pie in the sky? Do they have pie in the sky expectations? Are they crazy to want what they want? So that you can start really addressing those issues. Because if you address them at the listing table, presentation table, it's really stressful. And setting proper expectations. I've learned that after asking all these questions, part of my preparation is having materials, data, to really set the proper expectations on price, on what the house should look like. And so there is no battle when I'm sitting in front of them. It's just good information that I'm giving them. And I found that people are put at ease when you're not telling them that they're wrong. Not so directly, but you're showing them with data and actual experience. So does everyone have the access to the pre-listing questionnaire? It's in the Ignite toolkit. And let me bring that up and share on my screen.
Lena,
Yes.
a side note, I mean, you and I have worked together in the past. One
Yeah.
thing I just wanted to bring up is that I love your style because you do ask all the questions up front and you set the expectation, which was very highly important in transactions, right?
Yes.
Save time. And what I liked about your style was that you always stopped and reiterated their objections and their questions to make them understand that you're listening to them
Yes.
before moving forward. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Yeah, no worries.
Nancy was with KB Homes when I brought a buyer in, like, what, 12 years ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I really learned that you have to acknowledge every concern and address it, or give options or solutions to every concern.
Yeah, you're very thorough and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, I have a list. I have the pre-listing questionnaire, and let me figure out how to share that. You share, okay. Oh, so Celia, it would help if I hit the share button, right? Okay, here we go. Does everyone see the pre-listing questionnaire?
Yes, I see it.
Great.
Do you send it before appointment or do you do it on a phone? When do you actually go over it?
Okay. Good question. And I meant to cover this a while ago, so thank you for asking. There is a pre-listing package that I've learned in BOLD. For those who haven't not taken BOLD, BOLD stands for Business Objective Life by Design, a 7-week intensive Keller Williams training program that is extraordinary. If you haven't taken it, take it. There is a physical listing, pre-listing package that you print out and you drop off, which includes the marketing presentation. Let's see, actually, one second. It is not in the slideshow, but I have it because I use it. Okay. And to be honest, I have not gotten to the point of physically dropping it off at the seller's home before the presentation because the meetings have always come so quickly before I get a chance to do that. But I do print it out and take it with me. And the listing package includes resume, your unique selling proposition, what sets you apart, a list of questions to ask when interviewing other agents, 47 ways to make your home sell faster. And I have the printout of that 47 ways, which I got from BOLD. So, and I'm happy to share if anybody wants that after this session. I don't have it in this folder, but I do have it in a soft copy I can forward. And a list of every house I've sold in the past 5 years to show experience, right? And if you're newer in the business, don't have a long list just yet, you can use the brokerage sales data, or if you're with a team, use the team sales data. And property disclosures for the seller to fill out, the ones that they would fill out by hand, like the TDS, the SBQ, and a few others where they have to answer yes or no questions that pertain to specifically to the house. I find that giving them ahead of times, they start filling it out quicker. And requesting a key for the house, ask them to have these list of things ready, a key for the house, seller disclosures. Actually, I take that back. I don't ask them for these things because I feel that's too much. So I will give them the disclosures, but I won't ask them to fill out the disclosures. And what not to include, oops, sorry. I'm navigating between 2 screens, so I'm still learning where everything is supposed to go. So pardon my technical challenges. So what not to include in the pre-listing package is the whole marketing plan. You want to hold off and present that in person. and a lot of puffery about yourself. Um, we want to focus on the value that the seller gets, right, for working with us, not how great we are. You can have a little bit of that, but we want to keep that to a minimum. And absolutely, these are the must-haves in the listing package. The value proposition, which right now, the $75,000 concierge program is just the best thing I think that has happened in our Keller Williams history. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to make that a part of the centerpiece of my presentation. And I have many marketing plans set up to really capitalize on that. Testimonials about your service and market stats, of course. What has sold in the area, what's pending, and what's actively on the market. So if you'd like that pre-listing package list that I just listed off, I'm happy to send it after the meeting. Let's do some role playing. I'm asking for one brave volunteer to be the agent, and I'll be the seller. Anyone? Is this anyone who is in a place where they can read?
Sorry, I got disconnected for a moment. Could you please repeat it?
I like to do a little bit of role playing.
Leanna?
These.
Leanna, this is Grace.
Hi, Grace.
I can volunteer.
Thank you, Grace. All right.
Yes.
I'm the seller. Shoot.
Okay. Which one we practice?
Let me reshare. We're practicing this one, pre-listing.
Okay.
Pre-listing question.
Okay. So, am I agent or you're the agent?
You're the agent. I'm the seller.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Fine. Thank you.
How did you hear about me?
Oh, I got your farm postcard. I got your postcard in my mail.
Great. Where are you moving?
I'm moving to Sacramento.
Excellent. What is the motivation for you to move there?
Oh, I miss my godchildren. I want to be closer to them.
That's great. How soon do you have to be there?
I would say in 3 to 4 months.
All right. If we sell the home in next 30 days, would that pose any problem for you?
Yeah, I haven't found a place to move to yet. So yeah, I definitely would want to sell it much later than 30 days.
That sounds excellent. What would happen if the home did not sell?
You know, we just have to sell. It's time to make that move. I miss my friend and her kids, and it's time to sell.
Okay, I can help you with that. How much do you want to list your home for?
I don't know, but I looked on Zillow and it says about $3 million.
Wow, that's exciting. How much do you owe on the property?
I owe about 1.2 million.
All right. I will be sending you a packet of information. Will you take a few minutes to review before we meet?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any question before we meet?
Yeah, how much do you charge? Have you sold in this area before?
How much do I charge?
Yes.
That we can discuss that when we meet. What is the second question?
Oh, have you sold in this area before?
Oh yes, I have sold the 2 homes away from you and couple homes on the next blocks. I'm the local expert.
Oh, okay, that's right. I've been getting your postcard.
Yeah. Well, all decision maker will be there when we meet.
My husband, he's on a business trip, so he may not be there. Can you just meet with me and you can meet with him later?
Can we put him on Zoom so we can have a 3-week conversation?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That's awesome. Yes, we can do that.
All right. Thank you for thinking of that. Just so you know, our meeting will take in between 15 to 30 minutes. Is that okay?
Sure. Wow, that's really fast.
I'm looking forward to meet you on Friday, 6 o'clock.
Great.
Thank
You
you.
then. That was awesome, Grace. I threw you a few curveballs.
Commission, huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's the first question. One of the maybe the second question they ask, right?
Yes, yes, commission. Yeah, I just defer when we meet, and I I think when you asked how much house worth for 3 million, I was a bit of a shock. 3 million seems doesn't happen in your neighborhood. I don't know. 3 million is very unique. Big, large.
Right. And,
I don't know. That's when I practiced the script. I was thinking, where do you live? It's a 3 million neighborhood.
that's a number I came up to be comically high, but we hear that, right?
Yeah, all the time.
We hear
Always.
that constantly. Oh, I went to Zillow and my house is 300,000 better than my neighbor's house. Yeah, so we have to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
I call Zillow is the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that role play.
You're welcome.
All right, so let me switch the share screen here. I think this would be a good time to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we will look at the listing presentation that we can customize in Command. I'm really excited about that. So we'll see everyone back here at 10:05.
I have a question.
Yes.
Any of the materials that you would like to share, that we would like to receive, can it be put in one space so we can all go there to pick it up instead of individually sending it out? Because I think some of this information is very valuable.
Yes. Excellent question. And I am going to create a Google Docs drive with all the pre-listing package items that I actually use. And that's what I've been meaning to do, to have one place where I print everything, just go and print everything out. So
Right.
Jacqueline, are you on the call? Is there a way that we can, whoever wants access to it, they can?
Leanna, we can do two things. This is Hilda. We can, if you send us the materials, anything that you supplemented or mentioned that are not in the training materials for Ignite, if you send them to us, then we can actually create the
Oh,
folder in Google Drive, and we can share them with everyone. And then we will look at creating a Google folder also for all of the Ignite handouts, so that we can give them to you. We try to give that after the class is complete, after the entire month is complete. And the reason why is because people will just tend to lean on the materials and they won't attend the classes.
true.
And really the questions and the comments and the insights that are shared by the instructors and the participants are the big gems. You can go through the material, it's just not going to be the same. So at the end of the session or at the end of Ignite, we will definitely create a library so that everyone can have all the materials.
Hilda, I'm going to ask you, this specific topic is of interest to me now. So I don't want to wait till 2 weeks from now when I may be seeing a seller now. That's why
we can get you the information for this session, especially because you showed up, and anybody who shows up for a session will be given the materials. But I hope you understand the latter, or the what I was commenting on earlier. Not a problem.
No, I understand it completely, but and the other thing is, when the recordings come in, by the time the recordings come in, it's not top of mind, but when the recordings come in, I want to be able to listen to them within a day, or at least put out a message, recording is available. We just had a session on X. So just from top of mind review, it's fresh in my mind to hear it again and to take more notes at that time. So I don't know if that makes sense to you.
No, totally. I understand. We'll see what we can do about that as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, of course. And this is the topic of the moment. I mean, we need to get listings and inventory up. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you, Hilda, for that solution and structure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this has taken me a long time to really gather everything that's on this list systematically when it's just myself.
Yeah, just send them to us and we'll, get them organized, and that way everyone will have it to share. And thank you so much for leveraging all those resources with us. I think they're fantastic, and they're invaluable.
I agree.
I will be back in 2 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Leanna.
Hey, Davis.
How are you doing?
I'm not that techy, so I'm trying to find the stop video.
A stop video?
Yeah, stop video.
Are you using your phone or using your computer?
I found it. Okay. Okay. All right, welcome back. Let's look at the listing presentation. And if you're able to get into Command safely, go ahead and do that, please. We'll actually walk through it together on pulling up the template and doing some customizing. Just so I have a sense of what people have, what the experience level. Who has customized the listing presentation? And no judgment here. I did it for the first time a couple days ago. So,
I've never even seen it, let alone.
oh, okay. You're gonna
I
love
have.
it.
When you say customization, how do you mean?
Okay, let me bring up that screen. You will be blown away how cool this is.
What screen? I don't even have your screen.
Let me share. Let's see. One.
Leanne, I think it might, this is Virginia Thomas. I think it might be better if you just share it with us because I can't even figure out how to toggle between.
That's fine. I'm getting into my command now. And so you can just follow along with within my command, or if you're able to log into your command, you can do that as well.
Perfect.
So,
appreciate it.
And let me tell you, hosting a session, there's so much involved, and I don't know how Hilda does it every day, and she makes it look so smooth. There's a lot of technical learning and practice you have to do to make it smooth.
You'll get there. The more you do it, the more you learn.
Yes, so new share. Doggone it, I keep forgetting to hit the share button. That would help, right? Okay, is everyone looking at my command login screen?
I see nothing. I just see nothing.
I see it. I see it.
Yes.
You may have some, like a screen minimized, so look in the taskbar.
Okay, I must
You
have.
have the screen minimized.
I don't know. I'm on my phone and I want to go out.
It's much harder to switch. Yeah, it's much harder on your phone to go in between screens. All right, so I'm in my dashboard of command in my own account. So to get to the listing presentation, you go to design. Hit the plus button on the bottom to create a new design. And this design is for printing. Since we're going to drop off a physical package, we're going to print. Choose listings, listing presentation. And then there are 3 choices of style. There's modern, classic, approachable, different types, 2 kinds of modern and classic. I'm really focused on getting listings in my farm area, which is an older neighborhood called St. Leo's in San Jose, a couple blocks from the Diridon train station. So I like to use classic because it relates to the demographic of the sellers who probably lived there for 20 years. So I'm going to choose classic, use. And there are about maybe 30 pages that you can choose to put in your listing presentation. You can add the pages by hitting the plus button. There are instructions, which I don't need. This is the cover page. This agent information page. Information about the house, and maybe put a, go to the property, take a picture of the front door. If you can't, Google the property and just get a Google picture to customize it. It's super cool. And then neighborhood information. Comparable properties. What I really like about this listing presentation that's already created for us, it covers everything and it's so professionally put together. It looks so good.
Leanna, is this already duplicated in there once we put in an address, or are you having to put all this information in?
You need to put the information in. Like this one, you would put in the appropriate comparables, right? So where you can click and it turns into a box is changeable. You put in the information.
So you, just to be clear, you looked up the comparables, let's say on the CMA, you put them in there and then you typed all of this out with the pictures. It didn't like automatically.
I haven't done that part, but I'm thinking like you go to Keller Williams, KWLS and KWLS, which is all the listings that is within the Keller Williams system, right? All of our listings. I imagine you can get comparables from there or from the MLS itself. So I don't know how this auto populates. I'm sure Srini, our technical command expert.
Let me just expand on that one.
Thank you.
If you click on the KWLS on the left, if you know the listing or the address, you can probably type it in.
Oh, awesome.
And then you can sometimes just swap it out if you find the particular property you're in. My suggestion is for people to play around because this is just a WE editor. So yeah, go ahead. I think I see you type something. Does any of that? Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it brings up.
So this one gives you an Ohio or someplace, but yeah.
I misspelled the street name. This is an actual listing that I will put on the market in about 2 weeks.
I have a question. All of these listings, are they only from agents of Keller Williams that go up there, or you can put?
It could be any listing in MLS, depending on what you're searching.
Okay, you made a big leap, and maybe this is not the right time to ask it. I see the potential, but I don't see the capacity, ability. How do I go from knowing MLS, bringing it to this platform? Is there a training to do that? I mean, I see the technical ability, but I don't have the technical skill.
I think, Sheila, you first do a CMA yourself. You kind of know which comparable you want to be select.
Right.
Say you have 4 homes, you want to put it on this report, you get address down there, then on the left side, you click that listings address, then it will automatic, I think, I'm not sure, correct me, okay, put it into this report.
Okay, I can get a particular address for it, but then, okay, I have the address, then I have to go back and take that address, bring it to the command. Is that what we have to do?
I think all you do is click on the left top side of listing.
You
Find
know
out.
what? Hold on.
Select.
For the Grace, for the interest of time, Sheila, you have a big question. I have the same question too, and I'm sure there's a whole class around that. So let's go ahead and have you, get that question answered. And Srini can help us maybe, by giving us
A class just on that would be very useful.
exactly. I could use
I
it
think
too.
that because that is like most likely that's like a workshop kind of a scenario where you
Right.
populate. Because I don't think Leanna can cover in the next few minutes.
No, I don't expect her
right.
to, but I think many of us are not technically advanced as you are, so we would have a lot of trouble using this great tool.
Yep, so that would be an awesome workshop. So that's the idea, right? This is a great template for you to insert data. So I'm going to
Leanna, if I could just chime in for 1 minute or less. Keller Williams Listing Service, which is KWLS, when Command was created, all of the market centers within Keller Williams had to have agreements signed with the local MLS so that all of the local MLS listings would be able to go onto the Keller Williams platform. So you should be able to drag and drop any listing that's available on the MLS through KWLS.
Excellent.
So the biggest thing that you can do to become more informed on all of this is to spend some time on Command and go to KWLS and take a look at the listings. There's ways that you can look at maps. You can search by agent. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can search. You just got to get in there and start playing with it and clicking around. Don't worry, nothing's going to break. And, start working and creating your own templates, because Command really is a gem. You just got to get in and use it.
Thank you.
exactly. I've learned a lot just from preparing to facilitate this class. And this is one of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of they're making a lot of improvements because they rolled out so many new features so fast. It was like everybody's drinking through a fire hose on full blast. So the next 66 days, Keller Williams is going to be laser focused on making sure that every feature that they've already launched is working in the best interest of the agents and the market centers before they add any more little tricks and tools to the pile. But I think what they have already, as long as we get in and start playing around with it, is very beneficial and certainly the best in the industry.
It is. It really is a great tool. All right, so I just finished out customizing this. So you add a title. So Ignite example.
Guys, if I can just chime in really quickly. I'm sorry to interrupt, Lena.
Go ahead.
And Hilda, I no doubt that this is a great system, but like as a new agent coming in, it can be a little overwhelming. And some of us have gone in already and started clicking around, but we're having a hard time piecing it together. So maybe like if Srini or someone can give us a how to, like the basics, just to kind of navigate clearly through it, because this is an essential part of our business and it's important for us to learn to be prepared to go out there, especially if we're trying to generate listings. Instead of just having to like click and figure it out, if we can just trouble somebody for even like half an hour just to kind of just simply and piece it together, because it just seems overwhelming. Like I said, it's a great tool by far, hands down, but we just want to know how to use it.
Yeah, how to get started. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to Srini offline and we'll come up with the plan. Keller Williams also in Connect has several videos and tutorials. So maybe what we'll do is we'll map out which are the best ones to watch and get started. And then we can have an overview session to highlight all of those different resources that are available to you, because hours and hours have gone into, creating the tutorials for all of this. But you do need to know where to start and how to get started with the most practical applications. So we can work on that. Absolutely.
So quick
Thank you so
suggestion,
much.
Sure.
So Nancy and for the team, like, would it help like if I share some of the way I did it is like I watched videos from other Keller Williams agents where they've done it, and it is some learning curve, definitely. And watching those videos, pausing them and playing around with it would definitely help you. That would be a good start. And then if we need to, then probably I can do a workshop. I mean, over Zoom, it's a little difficult because getting this real hands-on is a different experience than working over Zoom. I mean, let me know your thoughts. I can definitely share Hilda some
Sure.
research on that.
Yeah, no, I'm open to coming. I mean, if you allow it, to come in and do a tutorial. If it's a few of us or one-on-one, it doesn't matter. But I'm the type of learner where, yes, I can see the videos, but I need someone to just show me once and then I got it. And just kind of be there to answer my questions as I navigate through it. I shouldn't take up a lot of your time, but I think that would be valuable. I would love that.
I think having a place where, a resource place where Srini posts videos that he came across that were really helpful to him to get us started is really key, because he can't like be giving the same class over and over again, right? But having videos where we can each access it on our own time and pause it and learn and practice and use and practice it is excellent. Thank you, Srini.
Okay.
All right, let's finish this out. Down here, you see how many pages I've added to my packet. I think they're like 25 pages. So, and when you have enough, you hit done. After you customize, add your picture, phone number, and that is at the very end. You can have right here is where you add your contact information. You can add a picture, you can do insert. Okay. I can't find the insert right now, but this is where you add your contact information. And then done to save it. And then you can download and print. And I always recommend prepare for your listing presentation at least the day before. Don't wait till the day of, because what if your printer dies, which has happened to me? What if the internet dies, which has happened to me? It's very stressful. So prepare at least the day before.
You bring a laptop?
I do, because if it's a listing where I feel like a video would do like a high-end video where I'm in front of the camera presenting the property, then I bring my laptop with my hotspot Wi-Fi and play the video. Or if they want to look at some listings online, maybe a comparable, they want to see actual pictures, I would print color pictures of those and bring my laptop just in case I want to look up any listing that they have questions on.
Just as soon download it into their computer.
That's a great idea. Okay, so that was the quick overview of customizing the listing presentation. And as I mentioned, I have not gotten to the point where I drop it off, but just printing this out ahead of time, gathering the package together has helped me prepare mentally to meet with them. And I know I have all the data and all the things I want to show them. My next level of development is actually printing it out the day before, or maybe 3 days before, and dropping it off to give them time to look at it. We are guaranteed to distinguish ourselves if we do that, because it is a hard thing to do, to try to manage to get all of that done before the appointment. But imagine the power that you will have when you do, when very few people, you do things that very few people even know how to do or even think about doing. So we went over the listing presentation. What are some ahas, questions that you're burning to ask that we haven't covered that would be helpful in getting you prepared to meet with sellers, find sellers, meet with them? Anything I can answer before we wrap up?
Yes, can I turn the question around on you and ask you, what were some sudden ahas that you got after all your years of experience working with sellers for presentations?
I love it. Let me see who's asking that.
Vasu here.
Vasu, okay.
I'm new, so I'm just trying to get an idea of what that looks like.
Sure. After many presentations, I've stumbling through, making mistakes, I've just learned a lot. I think this past year, where so much has happened in all of our lives, answering questions from a place of truth and power, even when the seller doesn't want to hear it, puts you in a position of grounded expertise. And it takes a lot of effort to have the courage to tell a seller that, no, they can't have their dog in the house when, that house is being shown. They're not going to get $300,000 more than what their neighbor got. And doing my homework ahead of time gives me that confidence to answer questions, address objectives or objections. And working from a place of abundance, especially around, can you drop your commission, right? Mm-hmm. There are so many scripts for that. And I would say half the time you will have to address that. I would just say the last time I had this question was a week ago. And I charged 3%. They said, can you do 1%? And I said, after meeting with you, I really appreciate the business and I would like to work with you. So I will give a friendly discount to 2.5%. That is my rate. My rate right now is 2.5%. And I just stopped. I just sat there and let them think about that. and they were okay. They didn't have to.
Are you sharing the listing presentation or are you sharing some other things that you still seeing there?
The listing? I'm sorry, what repeat the
Are
question?
you sharing anything? Because I'm seeing the listing presentation page, if that's.
No, I'm just speaking, answering questions right now.
All right.
So the commission commission reduction question is, you just have to get real comfortable practicing that. And what was true for me was when I said I dropped it to 2.5%, I really meant it. I charged, I started out charging 3%. They have a great property that is in my farm area that I want to list and leverage. And they had other properties they wanted to list too down the road. So I said, okay, I'm willing to drop my commission to 2.5%. And in my heart and soul, that was the bottom line. If they said, nope, they want me to drop it further, I said no.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead, please. I'm just trying to understand the gist. So to be able to have the courage to walk away if it means having to compromise.
Yes.
Walk away.
Walk away.
Days and
And
still be good.
know your
Value proposition.
know your value. And I presented a lot of data. I answered all their questions. And I think by the time they asked the question at the end of the meeting, after about an hour and 15 minutes, they saw that I was serious. 2.5% was the lowest I was going to go. And after you give your bottom line, you just stay quiet. Whoever says the next word is in the disadvantage.
Okay.
It's a very common negotiating strategy. After I said my lowest rate is 2.5%, I stopped talking. There were 4 of us in the room, and I can tell they were looking at each other, and I just kind of sat there and smiled.
Okay. Have you had to walk away from any of these presentations saying no?
Sure, yeah.
You did?
It's
Okay.
because I saw that these are problematic sellers. They
Okay.
are not a good fit. They don't see the value, and it wasn't the right dynamic. Luckily, I did a lot of the listing that I went on.
Okay.
I think it's the 80-20 rule. So after you say my rate is, you stop talking, and they either embrace it or they don't, and they have to think about it. Nothing is lost then. And you're gonna get some, you can't win everything, and you shouldn't take on every seller.
Okay.
Leanne, I'm going to say something different that I learned that I think was very powerful. When they ask for a reduction after I've given my value proposition, I say, let me just show you how the commission works. And I take out a $20 bill visually, and I say, right, this is the commission. This goes to the broker. This goes to marketing. This goes to taxes.
I love it.
And you don't have to talk anymore, because if you are valuable, they say, oh, I didn't realize. That's one way. Another way is I will put 0 down. I will not charge you any commission, but we will agree in the listing that if I get you $100,000 more than what you think you can get, then we will share the appreciated value, and that will be my commission.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
that's it.
You know, there are different answers to depending on the situation, right?
You don't just stand with your hands crossed. You engage again. You go back. I give them and if they want to pay for everything up front, that's one thing. If they want me to pay for this and just hand it over to me as a professional, that's something else. So there's a gradation, you know. I think it, in my experience, there are many options to get to a yes with them.
And that is so absolutely true. The example I use fit that situation, right? But I love what you share about splitting the $20 bill because every situation is different.
Right.
So the answer has to be different, has to fit the scenario. It's just my experience at that moment. That was the strategy I used. And if that was the right strategy.
So as a new agent, the new agent is asking a really good question. In her experience, everybody asks for a discount.
Right.
In her experience, if I was in her situation, I would ask for a discount too. And so she can't understand, how can you talk to these people? They'll think that you're greedy or something like that. And you're going to have to use your cultural expertise and your knowledge of where you're going to bring them around, or say adios.
Yeah, after meeting with them for an hour, I got a sense of who they are, what their priorities, what they value about me.
Right.
So that was the kind of the strong silence was the right strategy. But if you're a new agent, yes, it's hard to muster up that kind of resolve. And there's about 15 different ways you can answer that. And I look, the $20 bill, dividing it up is excellent. 30% goes to the IRS, 20% goes to the broker. I spend $3,000 on marketing. So what's left? Really only 40%.
And you pay taxes.
And
Yes.
You pay taxes to Uncle Sam.
Right.
So, Vasu, it is a good question, and
good luck.
The reality is,
Thank you.
depends on the situation.
Do you have regrets? And this is to all experienced agents here on today. So do you have regrets walking away from?
I will never know, because I did walk away from a door, listing right next door in my farm area to the property I just described.
Mm-hmm.
It got on the market and eventually sold. And so I asked myself a lot, should I have just taken it? And I said, no. I really see it now that no. I'm sure that listing agent went through a lot of chaos and hell in the last 8 months that's been on the market, because it's overpriced $500,000.
Okay.
So that's a real experience of, I look at it every day and think, should I have taken that? I think the universe has a way of showing us, if you go through with your gut, do what's right for you, it will eventually be the right answer. Some days it may not seem like it, but I don't think so. I think whatever I walked away was for a good reason. I was being true to myself. And chances are it was the right reason. And
if I could comment on one thing, if you start discounting your fee, again, don't refer to a commission as a commission, refer to it as your fee. It's your fee for the duties that you, for the services that you are performing. And that includes everything, staging, pre-marketing, everything that you're doing for that client. The art of negotiation, the cost, and you have cost and expenses to your business also, training, the time that you put into everything. You really have to look at how many hours it takes you to close a deal to determine your value per hour, your charge per hour. But think about it this way. The minute you compromise your fee, you are going to draw a different type of client to you. If you do it in hopes of getting another referral, guess what? You're going to get another referral to another discount fee. So be very, very cautious of that. I've seen people go down the rabbit hole. They are eager to get their first deal. So, they do anything they have to try to get it. And then, before you know it, they don't know how to get back up. They started, so low that they can't bring their fee back up. So be very guarded about that.
And I can speak from experience, that dynamic is there.
Yeah, so you have to be careful.
My coach has been battering me about charging, my worth. And this last 6-7 months, I started doing that. And lo and behold, I'm not getting the "can you list for 1% question."
Yeah.
Okay.
Know your value and know your worth. And if you're new, remember, you don't stand alone when you stand with Keller Williams. You have the entire backing of the national company, certainly your market centers here. And you can always leverage the expertise of the team. Everybody's going to have your back and support you 1000%. So never, ever feel that because you're new in this business that you walk alone or that you're not as qualified as another agent out there. Because if you believe in the power of the team, then you will be empowered to a completely new level. And so I want to encourage everyone. You have a fabulous leadership team. You have an incredible broker. The OPs are the very best in the business. And so you do not stand alone. That's my biggest point that I want to get across this morning. So Leanna, can you give us a tie down?
Thank you.
You're welcome. The moment that, everyone should be working to get appointments, right? The appointments are the number one thing. After the lead, you got to get the appointment. So
Right.
Getting those appointments is critical to improve your conversion. Tell us what that sounds like at the end of your meeting. How do you tie it down and when do you ask for the business? Or are you constantly using tie downs as part of your script? Can you share a little bit about that? Because I think that would be helpful.
Using tie down. And as I see their concerns, I am addressing them as I go through the presentation and giving evidence that I've been through this before. I speak a lot from say a lot of tie down words, like from my experience. I had a similar situation. And this is how I resolved it. And it worked out great. So at the end, I say, thank you for the opportunity to sit down with you and earn your business. If you wouldn't mind sharing from what you saw today, between 1 and 10, meaning 10, you would absolutely hire me. 1, you would absolutely not. Can you share with me where you are in that scale so I can see, I can learn and maybe answer questions that you may not have already been answered for you? And that's very insightful because they'll say, oh, I think we're at about an 8. And I'll say, oh, what's missing? What questions or what matter have we not covered that would make it a 10 for you? And they'll give me some answer, and that just deepens the relationship and fill in the gaps in their mind as to how their willingness to hire me. Occasionally they'll sign the listing agreement then and there, but I say that's like 20%, and they're usually friends. To be honest, I do not push them to sign right then and there. I say, take a look at this listing agreement. I know it looks kind of big and scary, and then I'll go over the highlight of the listing agreement. I'll say, in 2 days, I'll just check back in with you to see if you have any questions, and then we can sign that. I will sign the hard copy in front of them, leave it with them, and I'll say, I'll check back in with you in 2 days to see if you have any questions, and I don't expect anyone to sign anything that they haven't read through. I get about 85% people within a week or two sign that listing agreement. So I
Nice.
would say that's a rate I'm very happy with. So that works for me, right? So I don't feel like I need to leave that listing appointment with a signed agreement when it's not a warm and fuzzy referral or friend. All the referrals that I get will sign, or 95% of them. Friends.
I like the way you approach that. It's pretty transparent. You're asking them to rate you from day one. And so it just shows that you're conscientious about your performance and your ability to fulfill their needs. That's a great way to approach it. And I like that you can then change it up and say, what would it take to get you to a 10 so that we can sign and get going? So yeah, that's a unique way of.
That's probably the most powerful bold script that I've learned on making sure that they don't forget about you. You want to know all their thoughts and confusion and objections. When you know, you can address them. If you don't know, you can't. And then someone else addresses that and you're lost. So it really is honest and very vulnerable, and they will answer. If they want to do business with you, they will tell you.
Yeah, I think it's a great way, and you don't sound like a used car salesperson just trying to, get them to sign the dotted line. I think it really shows your care, concern. You know how successful you've been with the presentation if they're rating you hopefully above a 7. So it's good. Good. I like it.
Leanne.
All right.
Leanne.
Yes.
Hi, Leanne. This is Alicia. Thank you for the presentation. I have a question for you. So, so you would leave the listing agreement and the disclosure with the seller for them to read.
Yes.
Okay. And then how about the form that to postpone the listing, to put it into MLS? Do you do that later?
I leave that with them and I do it later because the exclusion gets signed after the listing agreement is signed, right? So I leave all that with them and I retain a copy.
I see. Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I like to wrap things up and then Mark can take over. Thank you everyone for joining the meeting and your questions. I've learned a lot. This is facilitating is there's a lot of learning and practice, and it's a little bit scary, but I do learn a lot and it keeps me engaged in kind of the nuts and bolts of the business. So tomorrow, if you're attending tomorrow, I will be facilitating a day in the life of a real estate agent.
That should be exciting.
And thank you, Hilda, for asking me to do this. It's a lot of prep work, but it's really amazing that on the other end, I've learned so much, and learning how to use Zoom and present and public speaking really is. Keller Williams has given me so many opportunities. It's scary, let me tell you, it is scary. And there's so many rewards.
Well, thank you, Leanna. And I hope that tomorrow we haven't even addressed your personal achievements and all that you accomplished by, going into MAPS coaching in the last few years and how you were able to flip your business from a buyer's agent to a seller's agent. I mean, a listing agent. You have such a big story that we didn't, address yet. So thank you wholeheartedly for your contributions on the ALC, the Associate Leadership Council, for sharing so openly with our associates. You're just a true pleasure and a wonderful person to know. And I count you as my friend. And just all the amazing things that have happened to you in the last year through this pandemic are incredible. So wishing you continued success. Thank you to everyone on the call this morning and wishing you a fantastic day, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you,
Have
Leanna.
a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.